else to make a name. We're gonna make a name for ourselves here, and we're gonna make a name for our city. And if you guys don't see what we're trying to see, that's okay, because that's why y'all haven't done it yet.
And I go back to this too, like what you said. I'll take you to that. I've been actually feeding for doing.
That's some Jesus OG.
Jesus OG
Oh,
said,
hey,
I need some Jesus in my life.
Woo! Take the wheel. Or the
you know, I understand your pain when you say, artists ghost you. And, and us thinking about social media. I mean, I think that...
And by ghosting, you mean not showing up to their...
Flaking. I think that some artists think they're bigger than who they really are. And I think social media has put them in that position.
Enabled them.
That part.
And I'm not super upset at them or the setup at the system. I'm more... We're gonna keep on putting the hard work because you're gonna see it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna show you, and I think
we're of a different generation though too. We're not. We're not.
Well, I think about this too.
Like, you're not a millennial.
I think about this too, though. Like
I was born in '90. Am I a millennial?
I don't know what that is, but I have no idea what I am. But I think
I'm a millennial.
I would say I would say this though, like to have Mitch pull up to the event. That's what I think. To have Mitchie Sick pull up to the event and certify what we're really trying to put together. And I told him before he came, goes, what do you really want me to do? I was like, all you really need to do is get on the mic for a couple minutes. I don't need more than that. I really don't need more than that. If you want to do this, you want to do that. But that's all we really need. And for him to believe in it. Unfortunately, there is a lot of politics behind the scenes because I would love to have Big June there too. I mean, we talked about
the politics.
We talked about San Diego OGs earlier. We talked about why who are the OGs in SD and why can't we build a structure. You guys talked about Jay Prince. There's a lot of politics behind the scenes, and it is what it is because people have put stripes in the game when they were youngsters. Mm-hmm. Now you kind of grow up, maybe you're trying to do a business
lost
thing.
Lives to the stripes, so it's
right. And so that's probably every major city. It is what it is. Now the question is, can maybe them one day pull it all aside? When you actually are able to kind of okay, let's say use Snoop Dogg for example. You know what I mean?
Snoop and Game when they did their...
I mean, there's so many... Jay-Z, there's so many OGs that fucking had some stripes in the game, but they realized the real business of it.
I mean, Cardi B, she went on and did Blueface's remix for Tatiana. She was flaming red the whole time. Blood, 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 blood.
But
and then...
That's Coach K and Blueface manager, they got a relationship. They was taking pictures.
But they see the money of it too.
But
I mean, think about YG. YG did the same
with
thing.
Nipsey. Mm-hmm. Look about him with the song.
They see the business side of it. You know what I mean? You're now out of the streets.
Mobsters will still sit at a round table if they're doing business together.
So, and I think that goes back to I would love to have a big conversation with Big June, and I've had the couple with him with Mitchie and Jail Felony probably be another one that comes to mind. You know what I mean? I'm probably missing a couple in there because there's a good round circle of probably 5 of them. And if they were able to really come to the table and put something together, and then we all start working really together, shit, you could blow it the fuck up. Mm-hmm. You start really getting these youngsters involved. You could, and I'm hoping that we create a bridge for these artists, because you're still gonna have the gang shit go on, but you're gonna this is what happens. Either you get locked up and you end up start doing time and you get forgotten about, right? Or you actually starting to smarten up and you start realizing that I want to do something else with my life.
You can do both. There's a lot of people who have gone away and come back and have decided to do something better for their lives. Sure. And they're the street soldiers. They're the ones who have survived the streets and they now need to be the mentors, the leaders, the ones who say, look, youngin', this is not the way. Let me tell you, as somebody who's been there and gotten out, there's some people that are still in there that will never get out. And it's is that a way to live? You start to realize the value in life, the value in family, the value in children and friends.
When you're young and you have that energy and you don't know any better and all your cousins and uncles and everybody's affiliated and you're a gang member, you don't have your dad around, it's all you know, it's so hard. And that's the problem.
Then those people are the ones that are just kind of just stuck in their ways.
I remember being 14, 15, having uncles come out and them chin checking me. Young. And I knew not to fuck around. I knew hella quick not to fuck around.
What is chin checking?
you can get knocked the fuck out super quick. Say one word. Say one word. But as a youngster, I remember it. It was indebted in me. It was so indebted in me. It took me to get older to realize I'm not gonna ever do that to my niece or nephew, ever in my life. And I even like talk to some of my older uncles who are still in prison, that just don't know any other life. That's all they know. They'll never know anything. When they get out of jail, the only thing they can hang their hat on is respect. Don't you dare disrespect me.
Or at the same time, they choose to go back to jail because it's an easier lifestyle to cope with.
Well, it's because you just don't know anything else, and it's comfortable now.
Yeah,
it's very comfortable.
It's strange. You don't have to. I mean, you have to come out
Your
into society
routine.
and try and find a job and try and find, somebody.
It's a vicious cycle. It really is. It's a vicious cycle, and it's been going on. And I think about when we talk about sometimes when people talk about police brutality, about what's going on in the streets right now. Man, this shit's been going on for.
All of this stuff has just been going on. It's just now being recorded.
Right, right. I mean, this has been been going on
not just filtered media.
forever. I think, but when we're talking about the college shit,
Mm-hmm.
that shit's been going on forever.
Yeah.
Bribery.
You got money. You can do.
You make shit happen.
Yes.
You make shit happen, or you make shit disappear.
Bribery
You're right.
was not
And social
invented just
media now
yesterday.
is like bringing it more to the forefront because you get just have more access to it to see it. And going back to the original point, one thing I would love to tell artists, and I'm glad I'm recording this, is build your fan base. I tell every artist I meet
that organic fan base.
I tell every artist that I meet, you see us out here grinding and working, building an audience, building a fan base. It's exactly what you need to do because a lot of these artists have, let's just say, 50 to 100,000 followers. Some of them, not all of them, a percentage of them, but they still can't even sell 20 tickets to an event. Now, something does not add up. Now, something does not add up. Now, and the problem is this, and the problem is this. It's because social media, and I'll share with you kind of what we have done. We have now figured out, well, I wouldn't say figured out, but we have now directed our social media campaigns or marketing plan towards an exact audience, toward an exact city. So now if I have the San Diego rap page and I want to promote something that we're doing, either any of us, we're hitting our target market. Those people that are following us are from San Diego and they love hip hop. It's completely different if I go to a dance event that we want to do. I'm not going to go advertise on that. You know what I mean?
We're bringing back a humanistic feel
versus
a robotic feel.
Well, I think that
I'm just.
I'd rather have 1,000 followers
Oh,
from San Diego that I can literally touch instead of 100,000 that are like in New York, Miami, worldwide. It's cool. Don't get me wrong. It's cool. It's great for the brand.
You have to build a core first.
You do have to build a core first, and I think a lot of them are.
Get that cult
And I think a lot of them are forgetting that. And I had a really good conversation with my younger brother, who's probably the artist of the family. Like he'll sit down in front of a piano and just start playing without any fucking no notes. Just hear it and play it. I don't know how the fuck he does it. But we were talking about artists out there that are traveling the world that can actually sell 100 tickets, and you probably wouldn't even know their names. But what they did correctly is they built a fan. They built a groupies. Like we need to go back to that shit. Build your groupies. Build those 10 girls that just like, boy, I will do whatever for you, bro. Pimp them in the right way. Pimp them in the right way. Like now where you're not manipulating, but they're fans because they love what you're doing in your music and they want to support.
I mean, I guess I'll
West Coast Radio.
That's a future show. How do you pimp somebody in the right way? As told by DJ MTK.
I'm gonna be like, shout out to the pimp out.
Pimping the right way, 101 with DJ MTK.
Mind control over Devo.
No, but I mean because they want to follow you because of your good music.
Right. Don't they all? Is that why they followed R. Kelly, the Peter Piper or the Pied Piper?
Well, he took advantage of it.
Yeah.
Well,
that's the difference.
That's the thing. It's
like, really
but
quick.
You put it in their.
Remember, I said he would like when you look back at it, he would say these things. The Pied Piper, like we all know the story behind the Pied Piper, is that this guy would play music to lure little kids away. And it's like, damn, but you calling it of R&B, you had your twist to it of R&B, and here you are using, based off of the allegations, using your fame, being at high schools,
being at McDonald's.
Being at McDonald's.
You're putting your power.
Pied Piper and R&B.
Into real use.
Yeah.
But you're using it for the wrong way.
Yeah.
So do you think that, because I think, are in reputable places in our careers, we're out here doing